Good evening, good evening, good evening, everybody. Listen, what's going on? Listen, I hope you guys are doing amazing on this Sunday evening. Listen, come on, we tell God thank you for yet another day which He's allowed us to see. We are excited to be here with you for another Sunday night edition of what? Wilson and Wilson Weekends. Yeah, come on, man. Y'all ain't making no noise. Y'all are not making any noise out there in virtual land. Listen, like, tag, share. Tell somebody Wilson and Wilson Weekends on the air tonight. Listen, we are excited to have a powerhouse with us on tonight. Okay, listen, I really y'all saw the flyer. She's in the room with me. I really don't need to do an introduction. I just stop talking. Let her go ahead and just jump in and listen and just shock y'all with her words of awe, right? But we're gonna do things nice. We're gonna do things good tonight. Listen to you guys. So if you guys do not know who we have with us, listen, check out the flyer. Again, she's in the room. We're going to bring her on. I'll introduce her in just 1 second. But before we allow her to share her heart on tonight, listen, guys, we have to deal with a very important thing as we jump in. Listen, what is that, Thomas? Yes, I'm glad as you guys asked. We got to talk to Jesus before we do anything at all. Let's pray. Father, we thank you. We give you glory, honor, and praise, God, for this day, God, that you've allowed us to see. Father, we ask you now, God, that you be in the center and in the forefront of this conversation on tonight. We thank you, oh God, that the Holy Ghost shall give us exactly what to say and how to say it. And we give you glory, honor, and praise now. In Jesus' name, amen. Listen, you guys, I have the privilege and the honor to talk to a doctor. And every day you get to talk to a doctor. That's right there. Okay, that's huge. Okay, because most of us we stop at bachelor's degrees. This woman has went on right to graduate school and got her doctorate. So we applaud that right there. Listen, come on, because come on, put a pause on that right there. Yeah, because you took the extra step to further your education and everything goes. So listen, if you guys do not know, listen, we get to talk to Dr. Sineltra Barnhill on tonight. Listen, you guys, she's a native of Kinston, North Carolina, and alumnus of North Carolina A&T State University and Winston-Salem State. Come on. Listen, Aggie Pride.
Aggie Pride.
Come on now. And she's around. Huh? Come on. Listen, she has her doctorate in special education and is a recent graduate from North Central University. She's a single mother of three, a motivational speaker, a poet, an author, and an occupational therapist. And in the middle of that, she still finds time to sleep. Like, that's huge right there in itself. She loves spending time with her family and just enjoying life. Her motto is simply live life to the fullest. One of her endeavors, you guys, her love for her sorority. She is a proud member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, Z5B.
So sweet.
Come on. Listen, I was in high school with we had the Zeta Phi Beta, we had Z5B in, it was a Arcanets in Northwood in 2004, from 2000 to 2004. And it was always amazing to watch these ladies step at the pep rallies. Like, I remember some of the steps, and I remember telling some friends, I wish I could step like that too. Listen, I mean, because some of the moves that they were doing and everything else is really, really cool. It's really, really sweet. Listen, you guys, she serves as president of her chapter. Listen, we got a leader in the building. She's a doctor, she's a leader, a mama, and all this other stuff, right? Listen, of Alpha Epsilon Zeta chapter of my hometown. Come on, Pittsburgh, North Carolina. Come on, listen, that's why I'm born and raised. So
I have my Facebook group up here looking at me too. Sure, I have a North Carolina Grown and Sexy Singles Professional of North Carolina Singles Group, and they're watching live too.
So. Listen, good evening, ladies. Good evening. How y'all doing? Listen, in her chapter, she loves serving the community as well as helping her chapter soar through new heights through many community activities. Listen, guys. But listen, tonight I get to talk to Dr. Sineltra Barnhill, but also known as Vivid the Poet. Come on, listen, her love for writing poetry has driven her writing books, becoming an author. Check this out, y'all. 4-time published author as well as a poet. She released her first poetry book in 2019 called Unveiling the Shadow Beyond the Counterfeit Image, second edition, which is available on Amazon, and has since published her new relationship book, 21 Lessons My Mother Never Taught Me. I Am an Alpha Woman, released in July of 2020. She published a dissertation on ProQuest titled Post-Secondary Transition Planning Among African American Special Needs Graduates and Parents in North Carolina. So in other words, you got a whole curriculum.
I guess you could say that.
Listen, you guys, I found the answer. I found the answer. We've been wondering for years, where is this book for parenting? Where is the manual for how to be? And now I found it.
Oh, okay.
There it is. Because you done wrote it right there. Parents in North Carolina. So you have the answer to teach us how to be parents.
Well, actually, it's for special needs children, kids that are graduating high school, that have a special needs. See, my brother, he was, we both were in a car accident when I was smaller, and navigating that through high school and watching my mom having to be a single parent, raising my brother who's disabled and needs 24-hour care when it gets to high school. What kind of resources after you graduate can you do unless you not be a statistic of the government or of color? So that's why I did African American, because I know sometimes we become a statistics and we're just maybe, okay, you're gonna stay home and not do nothing, or you're just going to be put in the system and that's all you're going to do. But what else is there out there for people with special needs and of color? So I use my mom and my brother as a tool to navigate this whole process of helping children and with special needs find resources to go to college, to find resources to work beyond high school. So I interviewed 10 moms and 10 special needs children. And the common denominator among all of those parents was, I don't know. I don't know what to ask. I don't know what to share. What is it out there for us that I can have for my child beyond high school? And that is the barrier, or that is the gap that I'm trying to figure out. So I did that 2 years ago. So going forward, I plan to research more into that, on figuring out what resources there are for special needs children of color.
Wow.
Yes.
That's major. Because a lot of times when dealing with, because like you said, people with special needs automatically get put into a box because people don't understand them. They don't understand how to handle them, like how to deal with them, how to talk to them.
Yeah.
So they just automatically assume if you are disabled and you're not talking, if you have autism or Asperger's or something along those lines, it's like, okay, oh, you're weird. Because we haven't taken the time to really get to know the person. So I love the fact that you opened up the doors, the resources for people. Because a lot of times, I remember being in school with people who had, special needs, and we graduated with them and everything else. But it's almost like after you graduate with your class, you forget about them.
Yep.
You go live your life. You don't think about these people.
Yeah.
I've been out of high school 20 years, and it's like half these folk, if not for social media nowadays, you wouldn't think about these people.
Correct. And now that my brother graduated high school and I was able to help my mom figure out resources, my brother actually works and makes money. And my mom was like, Sinatra, I appreciate, you helping me, because, if I wasn't for me and actually being an occupational therapist and working with special needs, we probably wouldn't be this far with my brother as it is now. So yeah. That was the whole inspiration. And I told her I dedicated my dissertation to her. And I wrote it in there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. What prompted you? And we done started the whole show a whole different way. So it's all good. I love it.
Okay.
What prompted you to say, you know what, I want to keep going past the bachelor's?
Past the bachelor's. I'm always a person that's always like, what's next? I have that ambition, that very goal oriented. So when I got my bachelor's, of course, there are always the barriers that come along with it. So when I got my bachelor's, I had a psychology degree. I was like, I really can't do much with it, but I know that I want to help people. And so navigating that psychology degree and figuring out, okay, so what is it that I want to do? What is my passion? Because you first got to find your passion to be able to go on and have that vision to do more, right? So in the midst of that, I got married and I had have my children. And in the midst of that, I was like, okay, I want to help my brother. And so I looked into occupational therapy. And I began navigating that avenue. Right. And in the midst of that, you know, of course, we all go through our barriers. I'm recently divorced, and when I was becoming an occupational therapist, I was my husband at the time was in the military, and so my daughter, I was raising her a lot by myself, and I had to help my mom a lot in the midst of that, right? And so then it's just taking me back, to that point that yeah. So my passion is to help people, and I became an occupational therapist as a result of that.
I like it. That you're an inspiration to so many men and women.
Yes.
Because of the things you've been through and because of where you're going. Like your testimony, your story is like, whoa. Like the fact that you're able to be an occupational therapist, help people. And I love the fact that you took the time to help at home first versus just taking the gift that you have and going and spreading it out in the community because you recognize the need in your house first. It was like, nah, I want to get back to my mama, help my brother versus just, okay, hey, all right, I'll be here Thanksgiving, Christmas. I come see you. I got my degree. Let me go make money and do my thing. Nah, it was bigger. It was, you understood priority.
Yeah.
Your love for your family, which a lot of people, they don't have. They forget. They focus because they focus on themselves. They get the degrees. Nothing wrong with getting a degree. Y'all hear me? There's nothing wrong with getting a degree. Nothing wrong with it. Listen, go get your paper. Go get your credentials. But it's the fact of where your heart was.
Yeah.
That speaks volumes.
Yeah.
That's huge. Yes, ma'am.
And then I went on to get my I was like, once I got my master's degree, I was like, what else can I do to help my brother? It was always him. So when we both was in the car accident when I was 5, I was in there too, and we both were in comas. Jeez. I had to relearn how to walk. I had to relearn how to talk. I had to relearn how to do everything. Right? So to see me come from there to where I am now, going through all those hurdles. So after I got my master's degree, I had 2 kids. I had an ex-husband with the PTSD and all the other mental health stuff. I was starting my doctorate degree as a single mom of 2, newly moving to a new city, new home, new job, just doing all of that plus the degree. But I always knew that I wanted to do better than what my family did, right? So I was always like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And then so I ended up going through all of this and finishing my degree in the midst of all my hurdles. I was still able to make it and get the doctorate degree in the midst of the divorce, in the midst of my daughter having autism and finding that out, in the midst of moving, in the midst of going through a dissertation. I still held on. I was like, I can do this. I want to be somebody that can inspire somebody else to keep going. So my motto has always been keep pushing, keep going. And when I was doing my dissertation, I would always have people come up to me, so can you help me? I was always going through stuff myself, but you never couldn't see it, right? And I think that's the part that I got from my mother. She's very strong. And that's why I dedicated my book, An Alpha Woman, because my mama was a strong woman who inspired me. And I told her that when I made this book, this was because of her. She went through a lot. And I looked at how she pushed, and no matter how much she went through, she made it. Right? So I say never give up. Never give up. When I walked across that stage, I said, I want to be an inspiration to my children. I may not have it all. I may not be the best position now, but we're going to get there. I flew all three of my kids to California to see me to walk across that stage. Do you not know that to this day that they like, I want that memory to be the last memory that they see whenever they're trying to go somewhere in life, right? So my mama did it. I can do it. My mama walked across that stage. I'm not settling for nothing less than that, right? So now when I talk to them, they get straight A's in school. Even though I think I may not be doing my best, when they bring those report card home, or when I get these awards that say they got perfect attendance, or they got straight A's, or my daughter now, she's in band drama, being recognized for huge things. As a single mom of three, we did it. We did it. And so I get emotional sometimes when thinking about all that I went through and how it was so much that I could have given up on, but I never want my kids to see that. So that's how I am today in the position that I am. I'm always inspiring you, no matter what you're going through, whether it's through my Facebook group, whether it's through, my chapter, whether it's through my job. I always had this happy face on because you can do it. You can do it. You can do it.
Wow. Wow. This y'all, we really can close the show right there. She done already set the standard. I mean, that was it. Amazing. Amazing. That's powerful. To be able to go through life dealing with your own and still be willing to help others. A lot of people can't do that. To be able to say, wow, you know what, I'm over here trying to get this degree. I'm working on getting this degree all while raising a family and dealing with life, dealing with my own issues. But you never lost sight of what was important. Writing a dissertation in itself is hard. You up here writing the whole dissertation, talking about what you talk about, making sure you got punctuation and citing and all this other stuff, all while over here telling your child, all right, hold on, we're going to eat in a minute.
I started my dissertation a month after I separated from my ex-husband.
Plus, you're dealing with that.
So the first 6 months, my mind won't on no dissertation.
No.
But I pushed.
Come on.
It may took me 2 years to write chapter. It may took me a year to write chapter 1. My chair was constantly, Sinatra, I don't think you're going to make it. I don't think you're going to make it. So we got an A, B, C, D course. Once you get to the D, you get kicked out. I got to the A, B, C, D 2 weeks before the session ended. Had to get it extended 2 weeks because I was still going through my stuff.
Yeah.
The day of the second week where it was time for me to get kicked out, I passed it.
Come on. Come on.
When I heard those,
yes.
When I heard those words that you passed, 2 weeks, a day after I was about to get kicked out of the program.
Jesus.
This must be meant for me. So I kept going, having to deal with the courts, kept going. My daughter was going through, she wasn't diagnosed with autism yet, but she had signs. So it was fighting with her. It was her coming home, hallucinations, taking different medicines, going in a room acting like different. It was
Jeez.
going through a dissertation dealing with that. Days I didn't want to. When she told me, "Mommy, I just want to hang myself," in the middle of me writing a dissertation, but I kept on. So I just say she's better now.
Amen.
She's
Amen.
to the point where we
Amen.
can make an aid.
Come on.
She's,
Come
you
on.
know,
Come
in the
on.
midst
Clap
of
that
getting
up.
going places. So, you know, I just say, you know, we all got our story. We all got our story. Just got to keep pushing through it. Just got to keep pushing.
Wow. Wow. Listen, y'all, I promise you, we're gonna talk to Vivid. We're gonna talk to Vivid. Okay, I promise y'all, we're gonna talk to Vivid the poet. I promise y'all, we're gonna get there. Dr. Barnhill, you have questions that people are asking.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Question, this is good. Did your brother have any outbursts?
No, he's actually nonverbal. So he just pretty much just sits there and just he functions on a 3-year-old level. So he doesn't do too much. Even though he's 35, he functions on a 3. So he's pretty much 24/7 care. Yeah, so I love him. Hey David, if you're watching, Mom.
Wow.
Yeah.
That takes a whole level of strength.
Yeah.
Patience.
Yeah.
To be able to handle that.
Mm-hmm.
Like the non-verbal, like the fact that he's not talking, he can't talk, he's not talking,
Mm-hmm.
and to still communicate with him.
Well, he could say a few words, but it's not much. Not much. But we understand it.
Right? Yeah.
We understand it because we be around.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
right. Like being able to be in, like, because most people, if you're not connected to Jesus and you ain't just around it, would throw them away.
Yeah.
Because it's okay. Well, the I'll say it this way: the normal, the unnormal person, the untaught person. All right, they ain't saying nothing. Let's keep moving. Because society says we fear things we don't understand. And what we don't understand, we run away from instead of taking the time to understand it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Like what gives you, because you grew up with it, like you was around it.
Yeah.
So you saw it.
Yeah.
Like how did you maintain a level head in those moments where like you want to, because he's I mean part of him is nonverbal, like dealing with, how did you maintain that level headedness with him to where you didn't like get upset and frustrated over wanting to form something
With my brother.
with your brother?
Yeah, I mean he's not like the violent type. He's more of very happy, very loving.
Okay,
that
yeah.
type.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
See.
So it's not the aggressive side. So my daughter with the autism has more of the aggressive side. So living with somebody like that, it was tough for me because I work with those kids.
Yeah, so you know the signs.
But this is my child.
Come on. Mm-hmm.
So I have to separate two. I can tell the people that I work with, okay, you go over there. This is what the book says. But when you have somebody at home and it's your child, the book always don't work.
Mm.
And so being a mom of a child with special needs and then working with kids with
two different things.
Was something I had to learn I had to go to therapy because I was like, well, how do I work with my own child? It was different. But after researching like I normally do, I was able to cope. So she's good now. She's good. We have our little days. but it's nothing like before. Prayer changes things.
Come on. So I want to talk to the doctor just a little bit more, because this topic is very interesting. It's very interesting. How do you know, how important is it to, when you may see something out of the norm that may raise a flag that says, okay, you might want to go get the child tested? So I'll flip it just a little bit. What do you call? How do you determine if a child actually has autism or something along those lines versus just throwing a temper tantrum?
Ooh. Of course, you got to get them tested, but for me, the signs that I noticed were, I would come home and I would come in her room and she's laying there and she always wants to isolate herself. Or when I come in, she's easily startled, like, oh, Mommy, what you doing? Mm. I was like, I just came in your room. Why are you startled? This is me. But I was noticing things like that. Then I was noticing that when I would give her that I just put her on medicine because I was like, maybe this will mellow her out. I don't know what's going on because I work with these kids. My kid don't got it.
Right. Come on.
So I would the outburst, her slamming the door in my face, her coming home, and when I react, she'll want to try to react back to me. It was those signs that I was like, those are out of the normal. So then I still kept prolonging it. But then it started affecting her at school, where she was getting low grades. And I was like, this can't be. So then I tried to put her on some medicine, and the medicine tried to change her around just a little bit with her behavior. But after a few months of that, I went and got her tested in March because I was like, I'm noticing some things. It's just not like her. We've been dealing with this for 2 years, and let me go try and get her tested. And when I got her tested, they gave her that label. But hers is more of the social aspect of it, meaning her getting along with people and having to interact with crowds and stuff like that. Because when she gets in crowds, she wears headphones. So when she gets in crowds, she has to have the headphones on, and she can't get around a whole lot of people or she gets anxious. And if she gets anxious, she'll have a meltdown, and so she's only had maybe like 1 or 2, 3 meltdowns maybe within the past 6 months, but those are controllable because I'm learning how to cope with that. Yeah, but it's nothing like when I work with my kids at the school because it's different. You can't label each child and treat each autistic child the same because they're all different. So
that's good. That's good. Listen, you got more questions. At the end of the show, Dr. Barnhill will put her information in the comments. We'll put her information in the comments so you guys can contact her because they wanna get in touch with you.
Okay.
So another question, and then I'm gonna flip to Vivid the poet because for time's sake. And so question says, what advice do you have for someone who has a child with outbursting and you got help? It leads them out of the house and you're trying to heal. What advice do you have for someone who has a child with outbursting and you got
what advice do you have for someone who has a child with outbursting and you got help? It led them out of your house and try to heal. So my daughter, she did have outbursts, those two, and you're gonna take me back there. With her, she always tried to blame it, which let me just step back. So I tried to hide her label from her because I know once they find out that label, they're gonna try to use that, right? So before she was having those outbursts or she'd have those meltdowns, and she was like, one day she'll be crying, one day she'll be laughing, one day she'll be sad, and be all like within a 30-minute period. And then she'll lash out at me, right? And I was like, So there were nights that I had to go home and I cried because I'm like, I'm a bad parent. You know what I mean? What am I doing wrong? But so what I did was I took her to therapy and they taught her ways that she can handle that. It took me a while to get her to go to therapy because I had to cope with the fact that did I do something wrong? And so that would be my main thing. Usually with children with, which I don't want to do no medical stuff here online, but I just say, if you have children with outbursts, just give them time to themselves. I had to learn that the hard way because I grew up is you're gonna do what I tell you to do.
Come on.
And you're gonna do it now. Well, with children with autism, you cannot do that. You have to go in the room and they may outburst then, and you want to tell them, look, you're going to get up and do what I said. No, let them be, let them cool down, give them their moment, and then they'll come to you. That's what the therapist had to tell me. And I had to get that through my mind. I told her, how do I do that when that's not what I was told? I was told you get up when I tell you to get up.
Come on, Doc.
Well, it's different with children like that. So just give them time to cope. It may take a good 30 minutes to give them a break, but eventually they'll come around. That's how I had to build the trust for my daughter to be able to come around and talk to me about anything. Because I always had that old school mentality. You gonna get up now. No, it took me about a year to get over them with the outbursts because once you realize that once they realize you can trust them, those outbursts will decrease. And once you learn how to give them their time to cool down versus just you do this, then it'll get better. And then you may have to do a little medicine after a while. I had to try just a little bit, but it's all dependent on the child. So you just gotta try it. It's a trial and error with this. It's a trial and error.
I love it. We can stay right there. Purpose like all day with this whole conversation. Sure. Listen, she'll hopefully she's gonna come back and do a part 2 with us.
Okay.
So we can dive deeper into this. Okay. I want you guys to understand and let's get to know the other side of Dr. Barnhill tonight. Sure. Listen as well. Listen, you guys. Vivid the Poet. First met Vivid the Poet Juneteenth with Sister Camilla Washington, and it was amazing. So if you guys have never ever heard her spoken word, poetry, listen, you're missing a treat. You are missing out. You're an author. You write poetry.
Yes.
So let's dive in right fast. The first question that I want to jump into is how you come up with the name.
Vivid. Vivid is a person that is clear, very direct, and to the point. She comes in a variety of colors. I'm always different. I'm never in the box. I'm out the box. So I have different sides to me, whether it's being creative, whether it's being inspirational, whether it's being motivational, whether it's being a listener, whether it's being a leader. I have all these different sides. So that's why I chose the name Vivid, because that's what kind of person she is when I hear that name. Someone's very clear, creative.
I love it. I love it. Listen, what inspired you to start poetry?
So back in college, I used to write poetry every now and then, and I had an assignment where I had to write poetry, and this was probably the dark side of it because my professors and them didn't understand what I was doing. So I know one assignment, I did a poem in front of the class and I got an F. And I was like, this is where my heart is, but I know I'm gonna keep going. And then the next assignment, I did a poem and I got a D. So I'm like, I'm finna give up. This ain't what I'm supposed to be doing. So I took off years and I picked my pen back up in 2019 when I was going through my divorce. I was like, I'm going through this stuff. I'm going through my dissertation. I'm talking to my friends here. I'm talking to my parents here. I'm talking to, other people there. And don't nobody want to hear my story. It's like y'all blaming me for everything. So let me take it to my paper. And so 2019, when I was going through all that and everybody didn't want to listen and I didn't have nobody to talk to, I just talked to my paper. And my feelings started to come out and I started to pour out what I was feeling on my paper. So my first book, Unveiling the Shadow Beyond the Counterfeit Image, is those feelings that I was feeling in 2019, 2020, when I was going through all my stuff, when people were not listening to me. That's when I wrote that book. So I can't really pick that book up and open it and read it because all those feelings. I said, y'all can read it, but I don't want to read it because that just takes me back into a place. So that was when my first time of picking up my pen because I didn't have nobody else to talk to. So I talked to my paper.
Wow.
And from there, it led me to who I am today.
Listen, y'all listen, we're gonna drop the links so y'all can go ahead and buy all our stuff. Okay, let's go support. Listen, I'm gonna shift gears and we are gonna talk about this brand new book that you just came out with. Listen, and she got it here, man.
Yes.
She got it here with us. It's here in person. Here you go. 21 lessons my mother never taught me. Defines what an alpha woman looks like. Come on now.
When it comes to dating and navigating these dating streets.
Ooh. We're gonna leave that alone. We gonna mess with it tonight. That's a whole so 45 minutes right there. Because you can open up something. So y'all go buy the book. There it is. Definitely. Y'all go buy the book and understand this. You are an alpha woman. Can you speak to that right fast? What is an alpha woman compared to just a regular woman?
Yes, an alpha woman, she's strong, confident, goal-oriented, strong-willed. And when I talk about an alpha woman, I just think of my mom, how strong she was, how an inspiration she was growing up, and it still is. Because let me tell you, she's getting ready to graduate with her bachelor's degree in December.
Let's go, mama.
So when I talk about all the stuff she went through, I saw it.
Yes.
I kept going. With my brother, who she has to take care of, and all the stuff she's been going through, she never gave up. She's in her 50s and getting ready to get her the bachelor's degree because she never gave up.
There it is. There it is.
So when I think about a strong woman's strength, I think about her. And that's what that is.
Wow. Listen, so if y'all ain't learned nothing else tonight, if you ain't learned nothing else, if you see signs, it's okay to go get tested, right? It's okay to talk to a therapist. We don't understand something. That's what they're there for. That's why God put them here. And if you ain't learned nothing else on tonight, never give up.
Never give up.
Don't give up on the dream. Don't give up on the book. Don't give up on anything that you know God put inside you. Keep pushing. Go forward. Don't be scared.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And if you scared, do it scared.
Mm-hmm.
But do it.
Definitely.
So tonight you have opened up. You've set the gauntlet tonight for the people. You've set the bar tonight.
Okay.
Even for myself, to never give up, to don't stop.
Okay.
To keep going, regardless of what you go through. Listen, this woman done conquered life and is conquering life and still going forward. So I'm gonna leave you with this question. What's next?
What's next? Well, I hope to open up me a clinic, pediatric clinic, focusing on children with special needs. That's my ultimate goal. And I'll say I've reached it.
Come on.
Once I do that.
Absolutely.
It's all about helping.
Come on.
helping others.
I love it. I love it. Listen, that's powerful. Listen, how can people find you? I'm gonna post your links in the chat in the comments right now. How can people find you, follow you, and keep up with you, ma'am?
Yes, I am on Facebook at Silnetra. That's SILNETTRA. And you can click on it and find my name, Dr. Silnetra Barnhill. I'm on Instagram under at Silnetra. That's again SILNETTRA. I am Vivid.thepoet on IG, where you can find all of my poetry stuff, my poetry engagements, my poetry books, and also author _ Silnetra. You can find all of my books that I've written. He forgot to leave one. I wrote a chapbook last July. It's called A League of Her Own, an evolution of poems. Just the creative side. I'm always in a league of my own. I'm never inside of the box. I'm always outside. So this book talks about a variety. And this is what I took to Chicago when I did my poetry feature there. But yeah, I got that for sale. If you want a copy of that and I can mail it to you, you can email me or inbox me. I'll get that.
There it is. Listen, you guys, go get everything Dr. Barnhill has. Listen, let's be a blessing. Let's go support. Listen, I'll post her Cash App as well. Listen, because we want to be a blessing to this amazing woman who never gives up. She is literally the embodiment and the epitome of the little engine that could.
I appreciate it.
Because you kept going and you still going.
Yes.
You ain't stopped. Most people would have lost their. I'm trying to close the show. Most people would have lost their mind in the middle of a divorce. Or were trying, forget a dissertation, forget trying to write anything. You dealing with a divorce and trying to raise children.
3
of them by yourself.
And they were small.
And then you still saying, "Okay, I'm gonna go get the degree."
Yes.
And got it.
Yes.
And now living life to the fullest.
With honors, 3.5 GPA.
Y'all hear this? So listen, I'm gonna go and put this out here. Listen, y'all, the links are in the comments. So you guys go follow her, find her, purchase the books. It's be a blessing. We are excited about everything that is to come with you, Dr. Barnhill, aka Vivid the Poet, from the movie that's gonna happen. Because I mean, you already got the poetry. I mean, let's go ahead and put it on film. Let's go ahead and let people watch it. Find somebody to play you. Let's get it out there. I'm excited about it.
Okay.
I'm excited about the clinic that's getting ready to open and everything else that you put your hands to that is successful and prosperous. It is an exciting time for you and everything that you're going to do. So we applaud you. We tell God thank you for your life, for your perseverance, for your push. Because listen, if y'all want to give up, look at her.
Give up.
She don't know how to give up.
I don't know what it look like.
She don't know what that is. She don't know what it look like. So listen, you guys lock in with her. It's to connect with her. This is somebody you definitely want to keep on the radar. Please, and I say this publicly, don't sleep on her. The alpha woman that's inside of her, that she is, she's crazy. And I say crazy in a good way because you're anointed.
Yeah.
The gift and everything else that rests on the inside of you for what God is doing is amazing. And we are proud to be witnesses of that.
Thank you.
So we say thank you for your time on tonight, for hanging out with us for Wilson and Wilson Weekend Season 4. Listen, we are super excited. As we close out January, going into February, we say thank you. So listen, you guys go follow, like, share, tag, listen, connect with Dr. Barnhill. Stay tuned for where she's going to be. Listen, get her to your spot. Have a poetry night. Invite her in. I promise you, she's gonna bless your life. Okay, go get the book. Go get all the things. I'm gonna do the same thing. I can't tell y'all do it, now don't do it. That's what I believe in doing. So we're gonna get all the things. Y'all gonna get all the things as well. Let's definitely support and be a blessing. Again, we say thank you. We appreciate you so much for hanging out with us on tonight. Listen, on behalf of my wife, who's the other half of Wilson and Wilson, and all of our sponsors, the Oil and Water Lifestyle, and all those good people. Onyx Urban Radio. Listen, you guys, if you want to catch Wilson and Wilson Weekends, you can catch us every Sunday from 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock on onyxurbanradio.net. Listen, anytime, I'm putting this out here publicly, listen, you guys, if you guys want to be a sponsor and you want to know more information, check out the screen right here. This is how you can be a sponsor for Wilson and Wilson Weekends. We spotlight your business, your ministry, your event, whatever you got. Listen, you got merch. We want to rock your merch. We want to promote you. That's what we want to do over here, Wilson and Wilson, because I believe in the fact of when I win and y'all win, we all win together. We can't do it by ourselves. We have to do it together. So listen, let's link. Let's connect today. Listen, until next time, we'll see you guys soon. Stay tuned next weekend. Brand new show coming at you for the first Saturday in February, 10 a.m. You don't want to miss it. Until next time, listen, I love you guys. Have a great night, people.